Hello, welcome back.
Hello.
To Get Real Estate with Liz and Marie. I'm Liz.
And I'm Marie.
And sorry we missed y'all last week. It was a little hectic in our lives. But
It was.
yes, it was. But that's okay because we've gotten a lot of things done and a lot of good things happening to us, Marie. Woo!
Yes.
Both
Awesome
individually.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
Yes.
properties working on and exciting
Yep.
things.
I know, it totally is. So yeah, I'm back from my little trip to Mexico, and my house was a disaster when I came back because, like keep saying, we're going to be selling it, and we're doing some updates. And we might do this construction stuff for a living, but we don't tend to live in it. Although I didn't think about this when we talked earlier, but it had to have been like you living at your lake house at Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every day we just woke up and went right back to work. I was literally working like 16-hour days, me and my husband, just installing flooring. Like, wake
Yeah.
up, do some work, have some food with the kids, put the kids to bed, and then we'd call it second shift because then we'd stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing work again.
Yeah, and it's crazy to live in it. So
Yes.
not fun, but it's getting there. I think the worst part's over because of the paint, but the flooring will still be a mess, but that's more doable to me.
Yeah, and I think the only good thing about the lake house is probably the fact that I had less stuff there. You know what I mean? Like you have years of accumulation of just things in your house.
Yeah.
And we're just bringing things up there now. So we didn't have stuff everywhere. But we literally were moving furniture out of one room, installing the floor in that room that day, and putting the furniture in by the time we go to bed at night. And every day we would just be doing room by room. So
Well, and that's awesome. So since I was gone, I knew they were going to paint, but I didn't know what their methodology was to painting. So their methodology was to take every single thing and put it into the center of the room and wrap it in plastic. Well, I wasn't prepared for that. So, I mean, there was still a dirty pot pan that they'd taken off the stove. There was still dishes. I mean, it was just like literally like time froze and they just came in and my husband didn't know they were doing that. So he was like, I would have cleaned up. I would have put this away. The dog's bowl were still put in the middle with wrapped up. It was so
that was
crazy.
it. The dog couldn't eat until they were finished.
I know. So it was silly, crazy. So anyway, so yes, so we're ready. What do we got going on?
All right, so let's go over some numbers right now. So,
oh, sorry, little excitement.
Bye, Bridgie. So, the number of active listings on the MLS today is 4,420. I'm still just like blown away by how low our inventory is. Again, we talk about it every week, but a balanced market would be closer to 20,000 listings, and we're less than 5,000 listings.
And that's the whole county again. That's the entire county.
All of Maricopa County. And I mean, and we went up 66 from last week. But 4,400 listings. I mean, that's nothing. Our median price point is $514,900, which again, just think of a couple years ago, $300,000 house was the median out here. So just really, really competitive market, really strong pricing. But we'll talk about what the interest rates, how that might impact it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, our average days on market across the valley is 52 days. We have almost 3,886 active rentals. Our median rent is finally over $3,000. We were teetering around that $3,000 mark. We're at $3,095 as median rent. And this is another thing we've talked about several times, but rents have remained very, very consistent throughout the valley over the last few months, but it's been so much more competitive to actually find a good rental. I guess they're just getting snatched up very quickly. So
yeah, because I want to ask you about that. Tell us again how you base your kind of your rental threshold, like how you determine that.
Well, and all of the data that I'm sharing is straight out of the MLS. So, obviously there's going to be private listings or listings that they're not all going to be on the MLS, right? So I am just looking at median rent in each county, what is active, and
But when you determine if you're going to purchase purchasing a rental, and you have a methodology off the back.
So so like the Mayo formula for our real estate flips, like there's like the 1% rule in rents. So if your average rent is going to be $3,000 a month, then you don't want to spend more than $300,000 on the purchase price of that home. So that's the 1% rule, 1% of the purchase price as the monthly rental income.
Okay.
So, which is hard to do here in the Valley, right? Which is why I'm buying rentals outside of Arizona.
But is that falling into that rule for you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we digress. But anyway, the market is just really, really, really strong sellers market right now. I mean, all of the cities, Phoenix did have a bump of 28 new listings from last week. So it's at 775. Scottsdale, bounced back up. So we've seen the price in Scottsdale fluctuate from, 1.3 to 1.5. They're back at 1.495 as the median price this week. So it's up 96,000 from last week. So again, it sounds big, but when you're dealing with that high of a price point, I guess that fluctuation is not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Well, so now we're, we're 3/4 away, crazy, through March. And we kept saying to watch for the inventory to raise after Super Bowl. So we are a month past Super Bowl. We're a good 5 weeks probably. Well, I guess Super Bowl's a little bit later. So let's say a good 4+ weeks. And we still haven't seen any big change yet in numbers going.
Not a big jump yet. Although we have seen, I will say, our days on market has started to reduce again. So we were seeing the longer days on market around the holidays. And so even just last week, Tempe just dropped like 15 days. It was at like 80 something days on the market, and now they're down to 73 for the average. So we are seeing the days on market definitely shrink. So things are just flying off the shelf faster. But the inventory's not going up.
For me, it has to happen. It's going to be so nice.
Right? So it'll be good for you when you come on the market.
Yes.
So let's talk about what's going on in the news in real estate, though, because I'm excited about some of these articles.
I know. Okay. So these, apparently last week, it's a thing, whether it's, nationwide or here, but was WIC week. It was Women in Construction Week. And I wanted to bring these articles still this week since I had saved them from last week, because as you and I, we are women in construction. We are those people. And in the beginning, I thought it was going to be a bit intimidating. And it's not to me at all. I ask the questions that I need to ask. I don't mind asking it. And it's not that I'm intimidated. I'm more confused by when everybody's speaking Spanish and I don't. I'm like, what are you saying? Than that. But I love it. I love the fact that we're women in construction. Now, I really wanted to point out this Sharp Construction, because I don't know if the gal's name, I had it all pulled up last week, but I think I met her. I've told you about that Mentoring Monday that the Phoenix Business Journal does. Mm-hmm. And a couple years ago, I went to it a couple times, but I went to it a couple years ago, and they do like a speed dating thing. You get 8 minutes with people, these women around the table. And when I saw the picture of her, I was pretty sure that I went and spoke with her. And I went and spoke with her.
Her name is Tiffany Sharp. Just so you know, she is an Arizona State University alumni.
I am pretty sure.
Construction management. And she's her own company, Sharp Construction, which is awesome. Yeah.
I just wanted to find out how hard it was to be a woman in the industry, and learning from her that it wasn't, And if there's people like that in your world, you don't want them there anyway if they're going to make you feel inferior one way or another in any business. But yeah, I just thought it was great. So she does a lot with mentoring with these young girls and just getting them in mentorship anyway, but just knowing construction can be a field for you.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing this whole program now with the Girl Scouts, and they're gonna have like this mobile training center basically, and they
Yeah.
can drive around town and teach girls about tools and construction and project management and all these things. So I think that that's awesome. Um,
Yes.
Coming from the engineering side, there's not many women in that side as
Yeah, I mean the same thing like that. You worked with a tremendous amount of men in that, or just a dominating field. So did you, you just can't let any of that kind of stuff stop you. It has to be just putting your
no.
best foot forward and asking the questions. But she says here only 10% of construction industry really has women in it. So, it's a good field to be in.
Yep.
I think it's fun and it's great, which leads to the next article, which women in construction, a look at leadership in action. So again, we're back to only 11% in the field, but having that as a celebration week, I think it's great. And so what it showed me is like next year, we should capitalize on that a little bit and try and do something within that industry and within this business ourselves and teaming up with some of these women.
Yes.
So I just thought it was cool that both that these articles were together and that it's a real thing and that we need to teach the younger girls that, or anybody, actually not even younger, because you and I didn't even get into it till you had a little bit. We were in it a little bit, both of our other jobs. You as an engineer, I did all the cell tower stuff.
Yeah.
And then got into it. So it doesn't matter when. Just surround yourself with people, right? And the members and the mentorships and, organizations and just being around the like-minded.
Yeah, I guess I would just say, don't let the amount of men in the field like intimidate you to not get in, whether it's construction, real estate, engineering. I mean, as a woman, you can advance very quickly in those fields if you want to work hard and, just don't let the men intimidate you.
Yeah. And if they are, then they're not the right men to be around anyway. I don't know. I haven't found that there's people that I've run into like that. And if they're not working out for me as a business associate, as a team member, as a partner, then we just move on.
Yes. No, I agree.
So anyway, I really liked it last week. I liked it. I wanted to continue this week. So Women in Construction is over now, but next year we'll look that up. We'll be part of it. And again, talking to these women that are already making big names for themselves, I think would be great. And for us, for the people we associate with, for the huddle you have and things like that.
We'll have to reach out to Tiffany and see if we can get her to come speak.
Yeah. Yep. It's great. So, okay. So my next thing was, I wanted to touch on this. We need to keep an eye on it. It's very important. It's going to affect all of us and everything that we do. But the feds did raise the interest rates the other day for the first time since 2018, I think it said, and they raised it 1/4 point. So that just trickles down. That means car loans, HELOCs, refinances, mortgages, all those are going to be impacted. Bank interest. I mean, they're all going to be affected by that. And it's not necessarily tomorrow, but it's going to trickle down. And then they're supposed to do it like 3 more times this year.
And I think the big thing to note, is even with pricing right now, right? I've seen the articles about people saying the prices are so high. Well, with the interest rates being so low, we can afford those higher price houses. But as these interest rates come up, as the Fed increases and you start seeing it in your mortgage payments, your car payments, all of those things compounding, right? Then the affordability is going to start to come down. And I think that's when we'll start to see the pricing come down. So
and I don't even know, do you think the pricing would come down that much, or it'll kind of level off and not go 33% in 1 year?
Right. And I think, we'll have a little bit of a market correction. I don't think we're going to have a major collapse, but they're definitely going to level back off and maybe, get closer to the median price point a year ago.
Yeah.
So not quite that 33% increase, like you said. So it will definitely be interesting. And, like you said, everyone just needs to keep an eye on it, because as the Fed increases the rate, it's going to trickle down and affect everything, not just your mortgage, but also those other loans.
Right. And I remember when they did it in October of 2018. I know exactly because I listed 2 houses that month, and it did affect the selling of those houses because they raised it, and it kind of put a little damper on the market. Wasn't going crazy then. It was a little bit more, I don't know if it was buyer, it was equal, or if it was a buyer's
More
market.
stable, yeah.
But stable. So but it did affect me. And then the holidays affected me. And then those houses sat longer. And so the days on market looked crazy. And
Right.
so we need to be aware of that. And the feds are doing this to help out curb inflation a little bit on the spending. But in the meantime, we are investors and we want to sell our things. So it is important. And that's why I like these weekly updates, because it really puts it in our faces on what to be aware of and what's happening and watching.
I mean, it's amazing to know these numbers on this such, like, I don't know, minute scale, of even just what's going on city to city and week to week. So
yeah. So this is going to help in that we're watching this, and we have this number data to back it up, and we'll watch for days on market. We'll watch for the number of houses, sitting, being on the MLS, because if they're not selling as fast and more people are putting them on, but it's nothing, I don't think it's going to change overnight, because the other thing is all the stuff we talk about, all the jobs that are coming here, that is not stopping.
Right.
Just a lot of all these semiconductors that they're building, some big warehouse plants and stuff. So we're still good, but it's better to buy today, because the prices, even if the house price stays the same, your interest rate goes up, your mortgage payment will increase. So that was a great, I think you put it up, that great image, or whatever it's called, about the house.
Yeah, because it's like people are complaining about the prices, but they're not looking at the fact that the rates are so low and what they can afford. So yeah, these are, there's a reciprocal effect. So one's going to affect the other.
Right. And the other great thing that happens now is that we don't have these goofy interest rates that affected us during the Great Recession. There's not all these crazy interest only fluctuating rates, arms. So if you get into an interest rate and it's still decent and you can lock into that, you're still going to be in good shape for the long haul.
Yes. So let's get into some fun news.
I know. Okay. So I put this article in here specifically for you. I don't know how many people out there watching know, but Marie is a classically trained opera singer. So, and went to the Fame School in New York City.
Yes, which my niece is actually, they just scheduled her audition. She's going to be going for dance. So I'm super excited. Hopefully.
That's so amazing. I know. And you sang here in the Valley for a long time. You sing now at church, not opera, but some good gospel music, singing Christian stuff. Yeah. But
I sang with Pro Music at Arizona for a while, and they are an amazing group. Actually, anthem-based group.
Yeah, clear up here in my neck of the woods.
So yeah, I still enjoy a good opera every once in a while, or musical. Musical theater.
Well, and that's it. This gentleman was in the military, and he was in the Marines, and the music that he knew how to sing just comforted him and comforted his comrades, because he could sing, he could entertain them. And then that just helped him while he was, overseas in combat, whatever, position he was putting himself in. And so he started this Chandler Opera Company, now down near you.
Right.
And I think it was great. So it just made me happy, because I was like, it's just an awesome thing to go see, be part of, listen to. And then if something helps you like that, that's amazing too. If you have something that can soothe you, calm you, whatever, in times of trouble, it's amazing.
Yeah. So he was in the Marine Corps, and I guess would sing, while he was overseas in Iraq. So awesome job for him. And I'm sure all of his Marine Corps buddies appreciated it.
Yeah. Yep. It was great. So then it says, I think he got to sing the off the cuff performance for tens of thousands in the 2014 World Series where he sang America the Beautiful. So even cooler.
Nice.
I know I put you on the spot when we go somewhere.
Yeah, every once in a while, Liz will be like, "Come on, it's your turn. Sing it out, girl."
Well, especially when we go somewhere where there's acoustics that can express and share your voice even more. So I love it. So, all right, Marie, the greatest thing, play ball.
Go play ball. Yes. I cannot believe
started.
it. Spring training is back on the calendar.
So it did start. It just started this week. I have heard that they are extending it a little bit longer. So it gets hot here, but it's doable. And so it'll be extended a little bit before, I think, opening day even for baseball. But I attached the calendar link for all the games here in Phoenix.
Okay, so they're pushing it out, it looks like, through to April 5th. So they're usually done by the end of March. And
yeah, because I think usually the first day is around then or before. So I think it just extended it a week or so, which is good. Yeah. So maybe we can catch a game.
They usually start playing the end of February, and now they didn't start until March 17th.
Yeah. Like I say, maybe we can go because we have a celebration. We have a celebration because you and I have done a good thing this week.
Whoop, whoop. Yes, but I was just going to say, and hopefully, some of the big businesses that were being affected by this, a lot of the restaurants and other things that kind of really count on this revenue. Hopefully this can make up for it with that little bit of the extension. So I'm excited.
For sure. Yeah, we ran into a little bit of spring training traffic on Sunday when we were at my daughter's dance competition, and I saw the light poles. I wasn't thinking what it was. And then my husband said, "Oh, that's the Royals and whoever else. I forget somebody else is out there. That's their playing practice spring training field." And then about 1 o'clock that afternoon, it got really busy over there. And we're like, "Oh, apparently there was a game today."
Right. So awesome. Spring training's back on. What other events do we got going on right now?
Let's see. Spring training, the Tempe Festival of the Arts is coming up this weekend. That's huge. That's a 3-day event down there. They close off all the streets. That's a lot of fun. And then next month, the Country Thunder. And I was going to try and go. I have an event now that Sunday with my daughter. So I don't know. I'll make it out there.
And I can't wait till Restaurant Week again. I love Restaurant Week. I'm a foodie.
Fun. Yep. It's very good. So cool. So that's kind of it. I mean, just for everybody, we're still buying, even though we've had a busy week and we've been buying. We are still buying. We bought one this week together. So good. Yeah.
So things are moving. So if you have anything in the Valley that you're looking to sell, definitely give us a shout. LizandMarie.com.
Yep.
And we'll put this one up there too. LizandMarie.com/save now.
Yes. You just did. You just saved people a lot of money in this deal we're getting. So it was good. Very good. All right. So with that, we'll say peace
and love.
And we'll see you next week for sure. So, wait, you're going to be gone. Yeah, we should still.
I should still be available next week
good.
For our live.
Right, cool.
I just have to do it live from Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. Pool tournament.
All right. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye. Thanks.